Did you know that there are 3 deficiencies that can make your mental health worse and cause increases in depression and anxiety and other mental health disorders? That's what I want to talk about today, so let's get started. My name is Crystal Turner. I am a psychiatric nurse practitioner who's going holistic because I know to be whole is to be healed. So hit the like button and the share button. And when I talk about holistic approaches to mental well-being, I talk about approaches talking about our body, our mind, and our spirit. And I do that through metaphysical principles, African-centered principles, and how we just treat our body from a nutritional level. There's so many ways that we can nourish our body. And today I'm talking about the foods, the deficiencies that we could have that can make us feel worse and cause more problems. Oftentimes when we think about deficiencies, we think about how it makes us feel physically, but it can really impact how we are feeling mentally as well. And I remember maybe about 5 years ago, I decided that I personally wanted to go vegan at that time, not really understanding all of the ins and outs of what that should look like. But I came across a channel for Infinite Waters, and Ralph Smart is the person on Infinite Waters channel, where he was talking about Dr. Sebi's diet and an alkaline diet. And at that time, that caught my attention because I knew who Dr. Sebi was. I didn't know who Ralph Smart was at the time, but I knew who Dr. Sebi was. But as I listened to Ralph Smart, I gained a lot of information about, changing diet and important factors to keep in mind. And as I started incorporating those factors, again, initially the reason that I started doing that is because I wanted to have prettier skin. I wanted to feel better physically because I was tired a lot, and I wanted to lose weight. But actually the first thing that I noticed as I changed my diet was a change in how my depression and anxiety were impacted, because I was also dealing with depression and anxiety at that time. And so this piqued all of my interest. And so that's why I want to talk about these deficiencies that really can be making your mental health worse, and you're not recognizing that it could be making your mental health worse. So the first deficiency that I want to talk about is iron deficiency. Iron deficiency is a common deficiency, particularly amongst women, because we get iron through our blood, and I'm talking about menstruating women. Because every month a menstruating woman is losing blood, which can cause your iron levels to be lower. But even deeper than that is that some women are having very heavy cycles, losing, abnormally high amounts of blood that really cause levels of low iron that can be more serious. And that usually and often comes from uterine fibroids that some women have and they don't know they have, because the blood is feeding those fibroids, and also it causes heavy cycles. And so it's important that if you're experiencing that, to get in touch with a doctor to see what's going on and how to correct that. And for men, when it comes to having low iron levels, I would definitely say getting checked out by a doctor is important, because again, we've identified that for many women, they're losing blood through a monthly cycle that happens. But you could also be losing blood and not know that you're losing blood as a man internally. So you want to get that checked out and see what could be going on. But the second reason that deficiencies can be had with iron is because of a poor diet, where you're not getting iron in your diet. Iron comes from dark green leafy vegetables. It comes from legumes, dried fruits, things of this nature, nuts and seeds. And oftentimes many people are not incorporating these in their diet, or not incorporating them enough to be able to get an impact from it. And so how does that show up though? How does iron deficiency impact our mental health? Well, there is a significant role that iron plays in the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. And these are neurotransmitters that are responsible for impacting one's mood. Oftentimes when a person is taking an antidepressant, or when a person is taking an antidepressant, these antidepressants are trying to increase one of these neurotransmitters in the body, either serotonin, dopamine, or norepinephrine, to help with the mood. But if we're doing things to be able to help our body produce it naturally through our diet, then that in itself can help us to feel better. But when we're deficient and we're not getting enough of that, we can also feel the impact. And there's research that shows that deficiency in iron can cause levels of depression, anxiety, and even impact schizophrenia. So it's important to recognize that we can get more iron in our diet if we're not. It's just knowing the steps to do that. The second deficiency is vitamin D deficiency, which is pretty common amongst a lot of people, particularly if you're living in certain climates in the world. So vitamin D is activated by the sun. When we're out in the sun, we're basking in the sun, it's where this vitamin D is released, and it's released into our system. But in some climates, like where I'm at in Chicago, there's not a lot of sun all year round anyway. It's pretty sunny out today, but we have these winter months where it can be more gloomy, there could be less sun. Also, in those colder months, many people don't go out as much, even if there is sun. They're not out basking in the sun. And so when there's these deficiencies in vitamin D, it is shown to increase levels of anxiety and depression, impacting schizophrenia for many people, and also impacting seasonal affective disorder. And seasonal affective disorder is essentially when your moods change based on the seasons. So in the warm, sunny months, people may feel decent. And when we shift to those colder months where there's less sun and maybe more gloomy, oftentimes people feel the impact of that. And if you have a vitamin D deficiency, it can really impact that. I've had numerous patients who are dealing with depression, and when I check their vitamin D levels, they're pretty low, so low that I would write a prescription dose of vitamin D to take once a week to get higher levels of the vitamin D. And it has significantly impacted how they felt. They felt much better as their levels balanced out and became more normal. So vitamin D deficiency is one that, especially if you're living in colder climates, you would want to check out those levels and see where you're at. But it can definitely cause more feelings of sadness and hopelessness, according to some research. And the final deficiency that I am mentioning today is B vitamin deficiencies. So first I want to talk about B12 deficiency. And the reason I want to talk about this one is because I've had all of these deficiencies, but I had a vitamin B12 deficiency when I did stop eating meat, because vitamin B12 is found in a lot of meat and poultry and fish. But it's, when you stop eating those things, many people who don't eat those things anymore do end up having a B12 deficiency. And I definitely felt that in like having numbness and tingling in my fingers. I definitely felt more tired. I know it contributed to my emotional state as well. And it's challenging to find things that have B12 in it if you're not eating meat. So I did utilize a supplement, a B12 supplement, a liquid supplement that I would put sublingually under my tongue every day that helped my vitamin B12 to be normal now. But one substance that one food that I do use that has been helpful for getting B12 is Nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast, oftentimes when I'm cooking certain meals that I'm trying to give it a cheesy flavor, I use the Nutritional yeast. And you can also use Nutritional yeast on your salads to be able to get more of that B12 that you're needing in your diet. But yeah, having B12 levels that are low can contribute to anxiety. It can contribute to depression, some psychosis, and delirium, according to a lot of research that shows those connections. So in addition to B12 deficiency, we're talking about other B vitamins. There are numerous other B vitamins that people tend to have low levels of, dealing with folate, B6, and other B vitamins. And so there's the B complex vitamin that oftentimes people will take to help get those levels of B vitamins into their system and to help improve their overall feelings of their mental well-being. So these are the three supplements that the three deficiencies that I wanted to mention that can really impact how you're feeling, what I would encourage you to do is to seek out a doctor who can check your labs and see, and these are common labs that are checked, to see if you have any form of deficiency so that they can get corrected. I know that one of the major experiences that I had outside of feeling better emotionally was my skin. Like for many years, I would always buy these products, put them on my skin, and they weren't doing anything. They weren't impacting my acne. They weren't improving things. And it was so frustrating. But it was when I changed what I was eating and getting more nutrients in that could help support me having healthier skin that I saw my skin change. And that's a big thing too, because when we are looking better, that can build your confidence and contribute to you feeling better. So it's all of these things that come together that we're talking about helping your overall mental well-being. It's looking better that will make you feel better. It's eating so that you do feel better. It's improving your mind and how you're thinking so that you feel better. And it's bringing that spiritual aspect in so that it also contributes to how it is that your emotional state is. So it's all of the things that we bring together, not necessarily just one. It's dealing with the hardships and the adversities that you've experienced in the past, the trauma that you may have been brought up against, especially in childhood. It's addressing these things. It's working with yourself and finding new truths for yourself, new definitions for yourself after having believed some things that have not been beneficial about who it is that you are. So it's all of these things. So let me know in the comment section if you've ever had any deficiencies, if you're dealing with any deficiencies now, or if you've corrected some deficiencies that have caused you to feel better. And again, like this video, subscribe to this channel so that more people can know about these ways of bringing forth a better life experience through our mind, body, and spirit. I'll be back next week. Have a wonderful day. Bye.